So your recording is on. Welcome everybody to another solstice session with multidimensional healing. This energy immersion is designed to really aid your system in navigating these beautiful waters of transformation and change. And I call them beautiful because if you can find that sweet spot, that place in the surf where you're standing in the middle of the surfboard, or you're skiing and you have just the right balance, or you're on your scooter and you've got the centered balance, or skateboard. There's a sweet spot in life where we can drop into our core center and do the same thing. And on these beautiful evenings, these gorgeous evenings of energetic, auspicious evenings, days where the veils are thinnest, we have so much help. So welcome, welcome, welcome to this winter solstice gathering. You're all in a group field, and if you're listening to this as a recording, just know that this group field is alive with vital energy. Feel it form around you. Feel it, the sacred container of inviting energies that is connecting you to the collective, that is connecting you to this sacred space of evolutionary energy where all your guides are surrounding you. And chief among them, we're going to pick one to really serve your journey during this session. Because there is things that you may need, and there's going to be surrounded up to 1,000 different divine beings. We're working with Divine Mother here today. We're working the celestial angels. They're just cheering us on. Before we were talking, they were making themselves known. We're working with earth magic, elementals, and wizards and dragons, and we're working with master healers and cosmic beings of light and love who are serving our evolution. And so your personal guide will make sure you get what you need, where you need it, in the way you need it. They're going to usher you through this session. You're safe, you're protected, and you're also getting personal attention. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining on this auspicious night where light is surrounding us. It's the day where light starts becoming greater and greater, but it's also a day of balance. So dropping into your grounding cord, it's at the base of your tailbone, it's your root chakra, and we're going to calibrate your grounding cord, recalibrate it to high frequencies. Frequencies coming into the planet are changing. Frequencies coming up from Earth are changing. Earth is awakening, and we're sitting there trying to calibrate ourselves with time, with the processes that we're doing, with meditation, with whatever tools are in your tool belt. So right now, we're just going to update your grounding cord with high frequency structures, which will help you have so much more of a smooth and fluid connection. There you go. It's really helping some of you. And so I want you to breathe down into Earth, going down through the chair or the couch or the floor you're sitting on, going down through the building, through the basement, into the soil, through all the different layers of rock, into the lava, to the very core of the earth, where we can connect to the heart of Earth. It's like a crystalline ball, or experience it exactly as it's presenting to you. And here, as we're connecting to Mother Earth on this beautiful ritualistic celebration of the seasons, ask Mother Earth a question. Ask her for a gift. Ask her for a healing. Ask her for a blessing. Take some time right now to commune with this beautiful being, this dimensional being that is alive and awakening, and really just asking for us to calm back into connection with her and all sentient and non-sentient life on the planet. So as we're grounding winter solstice energies, ask Mother Earth, question, ask for a gift, ask for a healing, ask for a blessing. Beautiful. And now feel the nutritious, alive, awakening energies around you. And pull that up into your legs and up through your spine. And feel it percolate up your spinal cord, your energetic spine, up into your neck and out your head, crown chakra, and allow it to circulate around, back down into earth, feeling that grounded, anchored, centered, being fueled by this nutritious awakening energy of Divine Mother. And this Divine Mother Earth energy is an invitation to connect to the laws of nature. The laws of nature are all about balance. And the earth today is so out of balance in so many ways, with climate, with politics, with division, with consumerism. There's just so much that is out of whack. And so as we connect to these nutritious, unified energies of Mother Earth, pull them into our own human body, and feel the embodiment of this anchoring, this grounding. Taking a deep breath, breathing it up through your spine, exhaling down, and you may wish to join me. We're going to be saying Om 3 times, and this Om is the sound of God, divinity. It's the sound, vibrational sound, that in Sanskrit means connection to one, connection to one. Allow it to vibrate throughout your spirit and help your spine align with a unified, okay, it looks like, to me, it looks like silver white light coming from Mother Earth to help you embody your lightness of being as a living, breathing, karmic human being, connected, live, present, aware. Taking another deep breath, exhaling down, and one more deep breath and hold it for a moment. And then joining with me if you feel called, saying the word Om. Elongating out with the breath. Inhaling again, holding it for just a second, and then exhaling with the sound Om. Beautiful. Your system's vibrating with the divine light. One more time. Inhaling, holding it for just a second, and exhaling Om. Om. Beautiful. Whole group feel calm, centered, relaxed. In this sacred space, there is a place full of plasma liquid, full of pure magic. I'm inviting you to drop in. Call this the healing pool. And its job, its sole purpose is to regulate. So you're here with your guides. You're surrounded by all these master guides, master healers, divine mother energies. In this healing pool, just allow yourself to be immersed. And when I say immersed, it's an invitation to relax. It's an invitation to be in that space of beingness. We can take that visualization of pool-like fluidity and imagine ourselves to be in a lake. And in this lake, there are reeds or seaweed. We can imagine that this seaweed is who we are. The seaweed is absorbent and allows the waters to flow in, around, and through them, but it is firmly anchored and grounded on the bottom, and it gently waves with the current. Feel like that seaweed. Immerse yourself in the position, in the place of this seaweed, gently waving with the undulating current. It's plasma-like energy, this magic of pure consciousness moving in, around, and through you. And no matter what is happening on the surface of this lake, even if it's a storm, down deep in your section of the lake, it's calm, peaceful, because you're immersed in the clear waters of life. We live in this ocean of awareness. This ocean is filled with oxygen. We're only about 60 miles from space on this rock hurtling through this space. And in this ocean of oxygen, we're all interconnected because we need that to survive and thrive. We need each other. And so the same with the seaweed in this beautiful healing pool where the energies are working to regulate you, by the way. They feels like they're going right to your kidneys. It's going right to any place in your core that seems like it's in need of attention or intention. And the more immersed you can sense that you are, can feel that you are, you can imagine that you are, the more these vibrational frequencies can serve you as an interconnected being of light and love. We're all vibrational. all vibrational beings in a vibrational universe. So in this healing pool, the energy is going right to your kidneys, and any dissonant fear patterns there that are rising that have to do with imbalances of whatever you're experiencing right now. For a lot of people, it's stress. It's going to your throat chakra. It feels like it's going to any kind of extraneous sadness that is bubbling up within you. It's not just sadness, it feels like discomfort, old pain. In this healing pool, even though it's clear water, there's a darkness there. And this darkness is only what you bring in with it. And this darkness is showing some of that fear, showing some of that old pain. And as the clear water comes in, it's helping to dissolve and wash it away. Like a current coming and taking away sand particles. And it's coming back into the throat chakra. There seems to be some fear here as well in the form of insecurity. What is it within you right now that feels like it can't trust something? Can't trust your health, can't trust your relationships, can't trust your finances, can't trust um, uh, fundamental things like putting food on the table, or fundamental things like your relationship to God. What is it that is shaking your trust? So going back to that visual as this beautiful piece of seaweed, imagine that this trust, this fear, this old sadness, whatever it is that is arising within each of you, are like little sand particles that have lodged themselves in your porous nature, and the currents of water around you are dislodging them, washing them away. We have so much help here today. Celestial angels, Christ consciousness, divine mothers, master healers. Going to someone's stomach, any issues there. In regulation, we're putting things away. It's like we just came into your home and oh my goodness, you didn't even know you're going to have company. And what's the first thing you do? Oh, this laundry is out. Oh, I didn't wipe the crumbs off the table. Oh, there's some dishes I need to put away. That's all regulation is doing. It's visiting each of your systems, saying, what is it we need to tidy up so that we can move on and continue our work here tonight? The goal of transforming, finding that balance, light and dark, not shying away, but embracing both equally. It's valid. It's important. Without judgment, without expectation, fully supported by the divine, with the invitation that the divine is giving you that says, you're not even just a co-creator, you are divine. Without the ego having to jump on board. You are that space, that place, the core center. And so as these currents of water dislodge any of those places of fear, of pain, of suffering, of stress, of ill health or dis-ease. Yep. Going to someone's lungs. And there's some stagnation there. And all you have to do is just be open and receive. Be that porous, floating, immersed seaweed. Gently waving, fully anchored, rooted, and grounded, but allowing the currents to dislodge any pits and particles and toxins and imbalances that no longer serve you, that are just ready to fall off and washed away with the current. Going into the pancreas and spleen. Beautiful. So now we're going to gently shift focus. We want your system to be even more relaxed and centered in the places that don't necessarily feel relaxed and centered, because those are the places that really need to be illuminated. Those are the places that that are out of balance. They're not just surface, like we found in the healing pool. There's some that are deeper hidden, that are more embedded within either your physical body or your metaphysical anatomy. And so the way to access them is to illuminate them. And here on this day of balance, this pause between light and dark, is the perfect day to see what is ready to be seen. So we're bringing in the light of love. We're bringing in this equanimity of peace to illuminate what's ready to be seen. And as it does so, it's bringing in this compassionate energy of nurturing, because these are typically the places that shrink back, that resist, that are your shadow sides, and even that are hidden, the blind spots that we will spend the rest of our lives uncovering. So allowing love to bring in nurturing, bring in these arms of grace to hold you and hold those spaces and places that tend not to feel love, or even shrink away from love or hide from love, places that don't want to feel love. You don't even know are there. And those are typically your conditioned consciousness from past lives, memories, histories, stories from intergenerational, the ancestral stories that are deeply embedded in our genetics. And then they relate or predispose you in your current life. We call these reality streams. They support whatever happening in your current life, in your present life. So these are what's underneath the iceberg of what we know. This is a subconscious level. and Source coming in to illuminate those places, surround them with love, help them feel safe, protected, nurtured, cared for, and loved. Bringing in compassion for any areas that, and there are areas within us, and this is the hardest part, in our past life memories, in our ancestral histories, there's always places where we were perpetrators, where we're holding energy of wrongdoing. It's easier to work with victim consciousness, but it's harder to work with the guilt and the shame of the things that we did to others. And so these areas, being surrounded by love, by compassion, on this day of balance of light and dark, love pouring into the gap. Love pouring into that suspension between the inhalation and exhalation, and falling into the spaces where our lives are like seasonal cycles too. We have definitive turning points and cycles where we feel roller coasters of ups and downs, where we feel states of fullness and emptiness. And this day, specifically solstice, is a time to honor them all that we've cultivated in the past, and integrate them all as we go forward. So love pouring in, yep, it's going into the kidneys, that place in fear, it's going into the throat chakra for some. It's going into that place where you don't feel worthy, don't feel loved. We all have that place. I can guarantee you that you all are divine beings, light and love, glorious, infinite, eternal, sacred, radiant, beautiful, inside and out. But these coats of conditioning, its histories and memories, current life, past life, ancestral life, have signatures, dissonant signatures that pull us into doubt, into shame, into fear, into places of unworthiness. And right now it's arising for each of you as a place of unworthiness that really wants to be uprooted and seen. It's right there in your guts, your large intestine, your stomach, your core. What place within you just doesn't even feel worthy of love, doesn't feel worthy of light, doesn't feel worthy of God, of divinity, and it's probably not what you think it is, because it feels like it's hidden, it's deeper. And so we're just going to bring light in there. You may get a sense of what it is, you may not. We're just shining light and bringing in support. We're not asking it to do anything. We're meeting it with acceptance, We're meeting it with compassion. We're meeting it with an active listening and embrace. If you don't have children, you all remember when you were a child and all you really wanted to do when you were angry or hurting was just to be held, right? So we're going to go in with our guide and with all the supporting guides and just hold this place. Could be hurt for some of you, could be grief, could be woundedness. It just could be numbness. We're in this place of too much stress where our nervous systems are overstimulated with fight, flight, or freeze. We get to a place of numbness. Whatever that space is. Surrender into the immersion around you. Go back to that beautiful seaweed and allow the energies to float in to those deeply embedded places within you that shrink back, that feel like you're not worthy, you're not good enough, but very, very painfully not good enough. There you go. And it's like we just opened a door. We opened a door or a window to this stuffy basement. Not only is light pouring in, but all this air circulating. Beautiful. And in those places where you felt you couldn't breathe, what we're doing is we're bringing in breath of life. This area of unworthiness feels very ancient, feels very old. It doesn't feel like it's even this present life. It feels like it's past lives of ancestors or your karmic life where you were just stagnating. You were just existing, barely, like struggling, like just barely hanging on. And opening up these windows and doors and allowing in this air is just alive now with light, with love. Not only can you breathe, but you feel that hope again. So just gently notice your breath. Notice if there's any tension in your core, your midsection, your back, your neck, your shoulders, your legs. And gently breathe into it. We're breathing in this vitality. We're breathing back in life to these places that had long forgotten. We're integrating some long lost memories of, and it doesn't even matter what it is, it just feels like old, ancient pain, suffering that had gotten just lost. And again, it feels very stagnating. And it was affecting your self worth. It was affecting the way you fundamentally think about yourself. We all have those core places where we feel not good enough or unworthy or threatened or, triggered. And underneath that was this, something that you didn't see, you didn't even know was there, locked deep in a basement. And all we did on this beautiful day when we're surrounded by celestial angels of the solstice variety, this choir of angels, is bring in the light. Bring into the light to that darkened place and allow it to breathe. So just breathe. With every breath, you're bringing in the prana. With every breath, you're bringing in the chi. With every breath, you're bringing in the vitality to a place and a space within you that was lost, that was shuttered, that was locked away lifetimes ago. It was the root cause of some sense of insecurity or self-worth. Now, as we bring in this new breath, this new light, love is filtering in, because this place, again, think of like an attic or a basement that's been locked away for lifetimes. You open up the doors and windows and got this whole core cleaning crew dusting everything off, shining everything, scrubbing all the corners, clearing out the boxes and the cobwebs, and any droppings of critters that had roosted there for a while. And in this place, it feels like a renewal of something that's been reclaimed. Again, it's like a place within you that was lost, out of sight, hidden, blind. There's a lot of people on the call, so for each of you it's different, but it hits a nerve. It's a place within you that says, and whether you have an experience or event or a circumstance where you just don't feel good enough, where you just don't feel worthy, and deep, deep, deep rooted that was supporting it was this. And I could name what it is, but it doesn't really matter. It's just old pain, old suffering, lifetimes old struggle, to the point of breakdown when your ancestors were at their wits' end and didn't know what to do. And unlike you, they didn't have anything to help them. So they just suppressed it and repressed it and filed it away and lived lives of quiet desperation. We have the privilege and honor to open these doors and windows in the attics and basements, especially on days like today, and let in the light and reclaim these intergenerational patterns of pain and suffering. Embrace the darkness, not run away. See it for what it is. Patterns of discontent, patterns of suffering, patterns of ugliness, surely patterns of cruelty, of hate, of greed, anger, injustice, we could name them, but it doesn't matter. It's just old patterns. Naming them gives them ownership. We're taking responsibility for them, but we're breathing in just life force vitality into these stagnant places, allowing source energies to help wash them away. They're doing all the cleansing work today simply for showing up on this beautiful winter solstice. Bringing in solstice light by bringing in these high frequency energies. A lot of it is happening in your third chakra, which is your control center, this control center that says, I can't be loved because of. I can't have this deep intimacy because of. I can't have this great job because of. I don't have $1 bazillion because of ... And there's an excuse there. There's a reason. But it's just a story. And underneath the story is this. There's these patterns of karmic, genetic histories of stagnation, of struggle, that was repressed, oppressed, unhealed, and unprocessed. And as we open the doors and windows and let the light and let the fresh air and let these cleansing waters come in, your system starts to literally lighten up. It's as simple as that. In fact, it's so simple. Some think it's hard to believe. It's almost miraculous. We go into this no time, no space, and we allow time to bend, to work on these areas of timelessness patterns where conditioned consciousness was out of reach before. And some of these conditioned consciousness patterns of pain are ready to be reclaimed, reowned, renamed, empowered. Beautiful. Putting in structures now to these places of self-worth, feeling unloved, insecurity. And they're going to your chest, to your throat, to your shoulders, to your brain consciousness. And they're helping to lighten up, dissolve, soften more of the areas where you don't feel loved, where you don't feel worthy, where you don't feel good enough. Because believe it or not, there's a lot more work there to do. These are like little lamps in the darkness. So when you go to clean up down the line, more basements and attics you didn't know were there, there's going to be lamps to show you where they are. Love pouring in now in the form of these structures. Many raw and vulnerable places to help shore up and bring in more reinforcement, more support, more protection, more love, more reassurance, more nurturing. And now coming into energizing. Those places that we just touched on, it's exhausting to hold down energy. Energetically within your system, repressed energy, oppressed energy patterns are exhausting to hold back and to hold down. So we're going to bring in this beautiful new tool I call bio remanifesting. We're going to energize your system where it's most needed. Some of you, it's going right to the throat. Others of you, it's going to the heart and lungs. Still others, the shoulders, shoulder blades, any tension held there. Oh, yeah. Whew. A lot of tension in the shoulders. What burdens do you feel you're carrying because of the weight of this? Because some of this, it's family dynamics. Some of this is family divisions that's ancient and old, but they're carried forward in your current life. And it could be family in the form of your family relationships, not even direct, your family of friends, your family of coworkers, your family of a community where you seemingly fit in and then all of a sudden you don't, because there's some self-worth issue that says, I'm somehow not good enough to belong. I'm unworthy. So here, we're just augmenting, bringing in bioremanifesting to strengthen those areas, strengthen the lungs and heart, strengthen the throat, strengthen the shoulders, strengthen wherever it's most needed. Most depleted areas, those weakened areas that have gotten weak by holding back, holding down. Think of it like those rusty bolts on the doors. That door to the attic was locked, that door to the basement was locked, and you're trying to open it. Well, it's been rusted shut, or those windows that were painted shut. We're strengthening those areas to loosen up those hinges, loosen up those windowsills, wherever it's most needed. Helped by celestial angels they've been singing this whole entire time. This choir, they keep saying, this choir of angels, the solstice, representing both light and dark, because that's what you can see here. They're exposing the darkness within so that more light can be embodied, so that you walk on this earth more empowered, more willing to use your voice for the good of all, more willing to see the bond that you have with humans on this planet that is in the midst of change, that is recognizing its division, its separation from the all, is its greatest problem. So many people are just individually out for self. They're individually caught up in these patterns of fear, them versus us, when it really is just all one. Even mother and father, they're just two genders of the same circle, like yin and yang. It's still one circle. And so as we're coming into these deeper realizations that we're all interconnected, it's exposing the darkness of these divisions, exposing the darkness of these separations. And when we name them, we can see that they're old patterns locked in the history, locked in the memories of not only our cellular molecular nature within our body, but of our mystical dimensional nature of our karmic and genetic histories. And as we unearth them, as we bring in high frequency energy to free them up, that core place within you that already knows it's unified starts to arise, starts to get stronger, starts to build in coherence with the awakening earth, with awakening humanity. And that's how the earth shifts and changes, not by some magical cosmic galactic thing, by each one of us owning our true nature and joining together and holding hands with others. And yes, connecting with our galactic brothers and sisters, but we're connecting with them in resonance. And the reason that they're lining up to help us in this sacred space is because Earth used to be a planet of higher frequencies. But we came here to remember and to reawaken. But there's nothing to save, there's nothing to heal, there's nowhere to go. It's all already there, and we're just pulling away the veils that are preventing us from knowing, from seeing, from understanding. We call that awakening. We're awakening to our truth. But as we awaken, it illuminates what isn't true, right? And that's what we're doing here today. But surrounded by so much grace, so much love. There's so much love for you within your ancestral history, within your past lives, within the divinity surrounding you, and the very earth magic supporting you. For you are that love. And this love is awakening by pointing itself at patterns of feeling unloved. And that's what we're doing here today on this beautiful solstice night. We're pointing it at patterns that don't feel loved. It's your system being supercharged right now, being refueled. Because these depleted areas are like the rusty door hinges, the windows that were painted shut, and they're weak, they're depleted. And within your energetic bodies, they're represented in your kidneys, in your chakras, in your energy bodies, in your brain, in your nervous system. Source was showing us earlier that this struggle created a kind of numbness because the fight, flight, freeze was just too much for our ancestors. And so this pattern of numbness was overstimulating. So now breathing into the thymus. Thymus, your higher spiritual heart. Happens to be an endocrine gland. It regulates hormones, but it also regulates balance. So bioremanifest, working on the thymus now. As you breathe in and exhale out, opening up your spiritual heart more and more to this lightness of being that has always been there. It's always existed, but was just covered over by some of this dust and darkness, or some of the locked doors of our ancestral and genetic and karmic histories that held a lot of pain and suffering, that created almost like a pollution or a fog or a mist where we couldn't see, couldn't feel, didn't even know that this higher spiritual heart existed in such a capacity. And even if your spiritual heart is wide open, the question for you is, are you living it? Are you living it as an embodied being, walking your talk, living in integrity, speaking out and for injustice if you're called, or just speaking your truth in whatever way you're called? So it's not enough just to have a wide open heart. It needs to be embodied. In order to be embodied, we have to go into the body of the darkness. And so here you have so much support. Again, this choir of angels is cheering you on tonight. You may feel them. In fact, one right now is just coming up behind you, putting their hands on your shoulders. They may even be merging with you in the spine. Yep, some of them are coming, there's only one, coming into your heart. And so allow this beautiful celestial angel to come into your spine, come into your heart, come into your body. Or if you feel more comfortable, just feel their hands on your shoulders, feel that support, feel their loving embrace as they help your thymus, your spiritual heart, not only be more open, but stronger, so much more embodied. We spent so much time in the beginning of this solstice healing, grounding and anchoring, getting a new updated grounding cord, and really feeling that centered connection. And here the thymus, the opening of the spiritual heart, is being encouraged to be embodied too. What was in the way is that piece of self-worth, that piece of mistrust that said, I don't deserve it in some capacity. Some ancient wound, could be an ancestral karmic history, could be something in this life that is torturing you in your mind, which with its roots definitely in your dimensionality. And this beautiful angel in your spine, in your heart, or with their arms on your shoulders, gently helping your spiritual heart, your thymus, not only open up more, but to be embodied with that opening. And again, that means living it, living your truth, walking your talk, being more authentic, activating your integrity, living your integrity. That's really hard in this world, because living in integrity in this world is almost like a shock, because there's so much phoniness, there's so much disinformation, there's so much lies and fakeness, that when someone speaks from authentic truth, it can seem brutal or harsh. So here, Source is going into any conditioning in your spiritual heart and clearing and energizing. By we're manifesting, working on the physical tissue, but the angel that is in your spine, and this is a celestial angel, it's a solstice angel, like massaging your heart. To be more grounded and embodied, and clearing and energizing, optimizing, harmonizing. And so that stagnating energy that we worked on earlier was simply in the way. It feels like it's almost like a light body activation, but it's from the inside out. Usually light body activations come in from the crown and they filter down. This feels like it's being infused, like it's being injected right into your spiritual heart and then radiating out. And it's very subtle. Some of you may feel it very directly, but others of you, it could be very subtle. A gentle rain, like a gentle mist. It gradually, it's larger and larger. And the purpose of this mist is to activate the spiritual heart in a way that it's living your truth, living your love, living your integrity, living your higher self. So just notice what's happening. Feels like your heart starting to smile. Feels like the cells of your body are starting to smile. Some of your spiritual heart is getting a what's it called when you do the I'm having a brain fart, when you get shocked, when your heart stops, like it's jump starting it to a different frequency. Those paddles, shock paddles. You're getting a shock to your spiritual heart, to your thymus. And it's just growing. It feels like it was started out as a tadpole and now it's growing into a fish and it's growing into a human that walks, and it's just evolving. Your spiritual heart is just evolving with this beautiful massage, this beautiful holding you're getting from a celestial angel, a solstice angel that is working with your spiritual heart in a way to help it really be, again, an embodied, a lived presence within you. strengthening it, optimizing it, harmonizing, clearing, energizing. It's bumping up a little to some fear in the kidneys. Just continue to breathe. Whatever's arising, just allow. Sometimes when we bring in this amount of light, this amount of energy, we can feel uncomfortable. Whatever is happening, just receive. Angel in your spine and your heart now is starting to calm down, starting to slow down. Feels like the activity in your spiritual heart. It's almost finished. There's a light body activation there with the intention to live more of your higher heart self. And what was in your way? Those spaces and places within you that don't feel loved, that don't feel worthy of love, that are insecure, that feel threatened, that feel hurt, that feel wounded on some level. Beautiful. Now the same angel is moving into your cells. In the name of all things holy and good, in the name of the great I am, in the name of Divine Mother, Father, all that is beautiful. Wow. Sparkling radiant light moving into every single one of your cells like sparks from a sparkler. You know, when you're welding, those little sparks that fly off, they're going into all your cells now. This is definitely a light body activation. It's going into your cells, especially in any kind of cells that help with your endocrine system, your hormonal system, any cells that help with your blood flow and oxygenation, any cells that help with your immune system, any cells that help with your nervous system, any cells that help with your genetics expressions. To individual sparks of light. The intention of these sparks of light again is for you to embody the love, to live the love. As we embody more light, more love, more high vibrational frequency, the you that isn't, the illusionary you that you think you are, starts to break down, deconstruct, along with the beliefs and the ideologies, the identities, the roles, the positions, and more of this spaciousness, more of this freedom for you just to be arises. And so we're getting a cellular molecular activation, a light body activations, helping to bring in the embodied living expression of love into every single one of your cells. This is going to go on for another 10 minutes. And that same angel is in your heart and spine. And again, this light body activation usually comes down from the crown and, pours through into helping to create a flow. This is happening from the inside out. It's like each one of these cells are from the inside out being reprogrammed, repatterned, realigned, reoriented with the expression of embodied love. Mm. So you can just imagine that each one of your cells is smiling. And for some of you, because you're already there, for some of you, it's just breaking out into divine laughter. Divine laughter is pure joy, pure joy. So there's nothing to do but open and receive and just imagine every single one of your cells smiling, happy. And these happy cells being reoriented, reprogrammed to embody, to live your love. And as they're doing so, out of those old patterns of heaviness, constriction, of pain, of suffering, and becoming alchemized, shifting, they're awakening. We call that awakening. Awakening is moving from one state of consciousness to another. The state of consciousness they were was this illusory pattern of suffering. This new pattern says, I am light, I am love. I'm a living expression of the one divineness, the one infinite, eternal presence. In my universal nature, all your cells happy, dancing. Think of it like the innocence of a child. And it's not like it's returning, you're reclaiming it to a certain extent, but it's the innocence of a child that is living with the wisdom everything that's come before it. So you're reclaiming it. And these cells are starting to laugh and giggle and fill with awe and wonder, like like a child's innocence. This wide-eyed curiosity and happy and giggling and laughing, but very present, very grounded, very embodied. You can almost feel like an effervescence happening in your system, like this light airiness starting to bubble up within, around, and through you. It's definitely creating more oxygen in the blood, more space, more fluidity, clarity, more stability. Mm. This light body activation is almost like a return home, but the home isn't anywhere you've ever been before. The home is in the here and now. That is a part of everyone and everything. It's a recognition, it's an awareness that is bubbling up from inside every single one of your cells. Other people talk about a new DNA activation. Yes and no. What this is just a re-manifesting of the DNA that is awakening to what it always knew it was, to its potential. It's manifesting possibility that miracles are everyday occurrences. So breathing in to your higher heart. And let's just imagine that you're breathing into every one of your cells. Got trillions of them. Each one of your cells breathing into you. They're happy. They're dancing. They're alive with vibrant vitality that is both innocent and active at the same time. So now gently coming into integration. We're going to integrate. So it's really key that when we have these big kind of shifts that we just had, to make sure everything that we're connected to and everyone that we're connected to gets the message. Because our systems are intricately interwoven with this conditioning that wants to pull you back to status quo, like mud. It says, no, this is what you really are. You really are unworthy. You really are, you know, not lovable. So we're going to take some time to integrate and let your system know that we made these changes. So coming into the space of integration, that celestial angel, solstice angel, still in your spine, still in your heart, or still with their hands behind your shoulders. Integrating in all space and time, integrating all realities, all dimensions, interdimensionally, integrating in all fields, all realms, physicalizing and catching everything up. We have such a vast energetic system, an energetic anatomy that is multidimensional. And when we recognize that we're multidimensional and we bring our awareness and intention to these areas, it has potent ability to impact change. And so we're going to integrate some of these specific areas now to the shifts that we just experienced. Light body activations, the higher spiritual heart opening and anchoring and embodying, the movements of those places of feeling unloved. So first place we're going to go is integrating the brain and all the specific parts of the brain that are relevant. These move pretty quickly because we're focusing on them specifically, integrating the nervous system. Integrating all the chakras, specifically the third chakra, the throat chakra, the heart chakra. Wow, things are moving fast for sure, getting a lot of help. And that angel in your spine and your heart is really helping to accelerate movements, integrating the energetic bodies. And it's not just integrating these movements, it's integrating any movements you've had over the past couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of years. And so we're really doing some in-depth integrating here. To me, the key to any movement is how you integrate it. Specifically integrating the mental and emotional bodies. Oof. And your spiritual body. Integrating what's called the luminous egg. Luminous egg is your dimensional scaffolding. Integrating the consciousness body. That's the you that recognizes and understands that it's connected to all of consciousness. integrating the life field. Life field is the sum of all your experiences you've ever had. Oh, beautiful. Some nice calmness coming in from that. Integrated what's called assemblage points. If you read any Carlos Castaneda books, you understand what they are. There's those points where your reality streams connect you to, again, your dimensionality. You have a couple of assemblage points. So just integrating these shifts through. And because we worked on the genetics, we're going to integrate the genetics. Integrating any organs that may have been specifically needed. For a lot of you, that was the kidneys. It never ceases to amaze me how much movement we can get in the kidneys every time we focus on them. And integrating the intelligence fields. Intelligence fields are the way your body works together with its own intelligence to allow you to function. So specifically working with the cellular, molecular activation, you want to catch those up. Let them know that you've shifted. And now integrating the physical body. And catching it up to all the changes we just did. And now integrating anything else. Bring in Deve therapy to bring in clarity, insight, wisdom, for what's most relevant to what we shifted and worked on. And you might get this insight or clarity immediately, or it might be something that just drops into your awareness over the next couple of hours, in dreams, next couple of days. It'll probably be something centered around this self-worth, centered around something that where you don't feel lovable, or it may not. I'm not in charge. Grace is. We're now coming into reorientation where we're just going to move into this blueprints of the you that is in this place of embodied love. The theme of this is it's not enough just to have an open heart and to love and to be love and to know love. How are you living it? How are you walking it? How are you talking it? In this pause between light and dark, that's the question. And so there's multidimensional blueprints of the you that exists where all possibilities exist, and we're going to bring in that overlay, bring in that possibility where you're already living this embodied love. It just feels like home. Feels like you just walked home after lifetimes of being gone. Warm, welcoming feeling, but you just, that feeling that, well, this is where I'm supposed to be, right? You've transformed all the issues related that stand in the way of that self-worth and that feeling unloved. You're walking, talking, living expression of your love. We're going to create higher dimensional blueprints for this to really help augment it, help enhance it, help strengthen it. And this isn't like any kind of love. This is your higher spiritual heart. The part of you that knows it's unconditional, it's infinite, it's eternal. I'm going to wake up any identities that's related. And again, it's probably surrounding some form of insecurity or self-worth. We're going to wake up any something called disidentities, and these are the places that you have identities, but you're refusing that they're there. You're disowning them. You're saying, "Yep, yeah, not me." And these are tricky little buggers, so it's really important to clear them. Ooh, yeah, those were sticky. We're now stepping into the Truth Tower. This is the place, the portal between worlds, where your feet are in your primordial reality, your crown is in your meta reality, the center of the galaxy, and your spine merged with all your timelines. We're going to bring in this energy of embodied love, higher spiritual love, as an embrace, like the angel that's in your heart, like divine mother energy we felt earlier in that love section. This embodied love is embracing you everywhere. Just lean back into it like you're leaning back into a comfy chair. Or feel it mist around you. We can bring back that watery image of the healing pool and feel yourself immersed in this mist, embodied love, flowing not just into your cells, but into the quarks and into the atoms and the space in the atoms, flowing into your physical tissue, from your feet to your crown, into all your chakras, from your root to your sacral to your third, your heart, your throat, your crown, your brow, your crown. And flowing up and out of your crown, and joining with this interface of sacred dimensional proportions. It's like a toroidal field. You that is flowing with your infiniteness is sacred geometric in proportions. It's connecting with the morphic field that is the collective. And it's all radiating this essence and presence of embodied love, higher love, spiritual love, love that's interconnected with everyone and everything, all sentient life, all of nature, all of humanity, all of the universe understands its universal nature. And this is what we're going to do the next few minutes. Just allow this coherence, this embodied love to soak in, around, and through you. You can bring back the gentle mantra of Om and quietly say it to yourself in your spiritual heart. Gentle, like a gentle breath. Om, Om, Om. Pulsating like a heartbeat within you. And this Om is the spiritual sound of the you that is vibrating now in every cell, every atom, every space. So even though you're intending this Om, its vibrational resonance is something that arises within you as home. It's something that you're already comfortable with. Deep inner places. And the Om within your heart vibrates, pulsates every beat. Instead of sending out blood, it sends out love, it sends out the radiance of love, pulsating outward. If any of you are familiar with heart math, they have something called heart coherence, where they can gauge, they can capture vibrational presence of love. And how it can be projected into your field and radiate externally. Here, we're having so much help from all our master guides and celestials and divine mother energies and earth magic and Mother Earth herself. As this Om radiates from your own heart out into your home, in your workplaces, in your communities. And with every beat of the heart, it radiates the same vibrational message. Your home, your home. This lived embodiment is home. Home within your own heart, home within the planet, home within everyone else's heart. It's the recognition that the heartbeat of yours is the same as someone else's. It is the same as something, the heartbeat of a plant, of a tree, of an insect, of an animal, of a fish, of a bird, and radiating this presence out to all your loved ones, your family and friends, to your workplaces and coworkers, to your pets and plants, and out to the surrounding communities, cities, states, into all the rivers, lakes, and streams, beating out this heartbeat. You are home in this place of love. Flowing up to the mountaintops, to the very depths of the earth, and bubbling up from the soil into the microbes, into the plants and trees. Again, all sentient life, all human hearts, all humanity being reseated with this embodied spiritual love that recognizes itself as self, recognizes itself in the eyes and hearts and beingness all around you, alive, vital, present, loving. And in this place of home, in this place of solstice energies, it's an invitation for others to find that stillness, find that pause within them, find that balance between dark and light, to reflect on the cycles of the seasons, to turn inward, to find the gap, deeply rest in this gap, to reflect on what isn't love, what isn't truth, what is out of balance, and recharge. Hopefully you can feel the Om pulsating now, like a heartbeat within you. Not even intentional, it just arises. And with that Om again, its message is, you are home. Home within yourself, home within the planet and the world, home within the greater universe that all vibrates with the same oneness, with the same unity consciousness. We are human beings. practicing simply being in this spaciousness of home. Recognize that there's nothing to do here, that through all this work we did in the sessions is just gathering to a place of being with each other in this group field, being with nature all around us, being with our own divinity arising and inviting us to deepen into that spaciousness that is filled with pure potential, with infinite possibilities, with miracles just waiting to happen. Adding gratitude now. All those happy cells smiling back. Gratitude for you showing up to do this work and whatever work you're doing within your own families and communities. Thank you. Gratitude for the multitudes of help here today that are simply reflecting back to us the divinity that is within us, simply by asking. Gratitude to your guide who ushered you through. Gratitude to the celestial angel in your spine and heart. Thank you. Gratitude for allowing me to facilitate and be a bridge on this beautiful solstice night. Singing a Sanskrit mantra, which is literally translated as lead me from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Let there be peace, peace, peace. Allow this to join the vibration of the Om inside and to deepen the peace within. Om Vasatoma Satkamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amtramgamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Peace, peace, peace. May peace continue to blossom and grow within and without. And let there be more peace. Bowing my head to you all again in gratitude and with so much love. Thank you for joining with me tonight. Bringing you up and out of the sacred space. It is done. It is complete, and so it is. Taking a couple of deep breaths to come back to the here and now. And you're welcome to stay in this space of Om that is home as long as you feel guided. It's late for some of you on the East Coast. If you just want to log off and say goodnight, to stay in this space of peace and grace, I thank you again for joining us. Until next time, good night, everybody.